And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It is all the fun in the world happening today. Somewhere. Whether that's happening here or not will depend on probably somebody else. I don't know. Am I fun? Probably not. But we're going to go ahead and get into some Create Mod. It's going to be great. Yeah, so... we're doing okay here. Doing all right. We've got lots of good stuff going on. And how's it going there, Nath? 2 a.m. for you. Nice. That's a beautiful time to be up and moving. Anyway, yes, so, good morning and stuff. Jeez, it's almost night. We've got a little bit to do today. Mostly we're going to be placing grass. We're going to be placing so much grass. So much grass. Okay, nope, we're good. It's going to be fine. We're happy about the grass. Yes, all the grass is... Oh, I need some frog lights before I get too involved in this. Need more water. Well, water happens. All right, so let's grab some... Speaking of things, you know what? I think I'll go ahead and we'll just grab some ochre frog lights since I have a bunch of those. These are basically just going to be here for lighting and stuff so I can at least make my new terraforming at least mildly safe. Okay? It's a thing. Copycat Plus gives you leaf pipes. Wonderful. All right. Let us go and do the things. Hey, how's it going there, Black Pearl? Welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a fabulous day. Yes, so we've got to deal with all of this nonsense, right? So we've got all of this floating goodness, and it needs to be less floating. So we're going to deal with that as we come around here. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how I want this to go. Obviously, it's going to swing out this way a little bit. Let's figure out maybe kind of where I want this to be. Right? I don't think I want it to be quite that steep up there, but that's all right. We'll just bring this around this way. That'll be fine. Yeah, I think this will be good. And then I can just bring this around over here-ish. Okay, yeah, and then we'll bring this way. And connect up to this little section of happy ground over here. Yeah, I think this will be good. We'll just sort of bring this around this way. Yep, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. It's been a day. And I am tired. Man, I don't know what the deal is, but I am so freaking tired today. Like I was doing all right, and then, about 3 o'clock, I just crashed. It's like, all right, it's nap time now, right? Are we ready for nap time? Is that going to be a thing that happens? Turns out they're not overly fond of me sleeping at my desk, so it ended up not being a thing that happens. But it's a thing. Oh, do I have torches? No. All right, fine. Just stick that in there. We're stressed. Oh, Nathan, are you doing play-by-play of your own game? That might be something to do elsewhere. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll just bring this around this way. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so we're just going to get a bit of terraforming in place here. It's not going to be overly crazy, I think. Partly because I am not one of those overly crazy terraformers, but we'll get things, you know, going at least somewhat. At least that's the plan. Let's see. I want to bring this down. Take out this cobble. Okay. And I want to bring this kind of down this way. Okay. Basically, just sort of... Actually, you know what? Did I bring that down too much? Yeah, I brought that down too much. Well, that's okay. That is okay. All right, so we'll just sort of bring this around here, and it'll be fine and dandy, and eventually it'll be, you know, something. All right, but that'll be cool. You're building an ocean liner. Titanic. Nice. Ah, some of that stuff is really cool. I don't like doing the replication of things too often, but sometimes that stuff just looks so cool when it's done. Act! No. You don't go there. You don't. It's not where you go. You'll go someplace very out here. Okay. Okay, so we'll have to bring some light out this way too, but let's see if I can figure out the rest of this terraforming before we do that. Okay, in all honesty, might just be easy enough to bring this out kind of like so. We'll stick with the basic landform here, at least with the way the natural generation hit, which admittedly was a little bit weird over on this side. But we'll bring that out here, and that should fall. I shall fall. That's, you know, not that unusual, actually. You know, I'm going to be starting on a new base in vanilla here soon. And it's going to be a base, it's kind of a sky base, you know, something like that. What's going to be really killer is that I know I am going to be falling off this thing all the freaking time. It's going to be great. I'm sure I will possibly, you know, die many times as I build that base, but it'll be fun. Titanic was a pretty ship, though. You know, had this whole floating problem there at the end, but she was pretty. All right, so let's go turn the lights off for the moment. Okay, this isn't too bad. Let's go ahead and bring this out from up here. All right. And we're gonna bring this out this way. And bring this around here. Yeah. It would be fun for somebody, I know, but as I said, I'm not much into the to recreating, you know, classic or real life things in Minecraft. But I guess I did that once. I was on an SMP. It was on Mandolin's Nerdy SMP, and it was all sorts of fun. And we had command blocks so that we could teleport back and forth to various places on the server, including our base. Right? So I had a command block so that I could teleport from my base back to the main city and stuff. It was fun. Take care, Nath. Have a great rest of your day. Or early next day, whatever. However that goes at 2 a.m. Anyway, so we were dealing with that, and I decided that my, yeah, we're going to do that. I decided that the room for my command block was going to be a classic Star Trek transporter room. And it looked really cool. It did. It looked cool. I was happy about that. Okay. Cool. So that's going to sort of go that way. All right. So coming around here. Now, oh, how do I want to do this? I think what's going to happen, because we're sort of at a pretty good ground level right up here. So let's go ahead and run this across this way. All right. And I'll need to fill in under here as well, looks like. All right. And, you know, maybe what I'll do with this is let's go ahead and just bring some grass up here. It's not overly crazy. Actually, maybe what I should do is instead of grass, let's get some dirt. Because that's all going to become dirt anyway. So we'll just bring some dirt out here like so. All right. Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I want to fill all of that in or not, actually, but yeah, it's all right for now. We'll figure this out eventually. Right? Eventually. Maybe, kinda, sorta. It's gonna be a thing that's gonna happen. It's gonna be great. Or, you know, it's gonna be just weird and silly, which is also a thing that happens a lot around here. All right, so this is going to swing around this way. Right, it's going to follow all that cobblestone. But then we need to angle down here towards the ground. So let's go ahead and sleep the night away. Sleep the night away. I don't know what. I'm just tired. Weird things happen in my brain when I'm tired. You know, I don't know what it is. It's just like suddenly it's like, you know what? I'm weird today. Of course, longtime viewers are going to be like, aren't you weird like every day? And that's also true. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to bring this around this way. Okay. All right, so this is going to swing around here like so. Something like that. And we'll bring that down around here. Okay. Wonderful. So now if I want to bring this, what do I want to do with this? What do I want to do with this? Obviously, we're going to need to bring our terraforming, out this way. We can bring our terraformer out this way too. It's a lot easier to terraform if the one doing the terraforming is where it's going to be happening. So yeah, so let's go ahead and bring this out this way. Right, and then we're going to end up with out here with all this tall grass, which I think is going to be fine. Perhaps. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just bring this way. Is there a rabbit that's stuck? There is, in fact, a stuck rabbit. Hi. You must have escaped. Awesome. Well, enjoy your freedom for, you know, the brief time that it lasts. And it's brief not because I'm going to slay said rabbit, but because the server really doesn't have that much more time in it. It's gonna be I said I want to get this terraforming done, but we're coming up on what is definitely going to be the end of the server here within probably a week or so, which is actually kind of scary and stuff too. You know, I've been playing in this world for 6-7 months, and it's been wild. It's been a lot of fun, but so we got to get this some of this terraforming in place. It'll be good. All right, so let's go ahead and take this, and I'm gonna sort of come this way. I'm just gonna kind of shape this a little bit. Boy, that feels a little high right there, but maybe that's okay. Maybe that's all right. We'll just bring it around this way, and then, you know, it's okay if the hill's a little steep in places. Turns out most hillsides are not really that uniform in their slopes. You know what I mean? They tend to be steeper in some places than others, and all that good stuff. It's going to be, you know, fairly normal for most hills. So that's cool. We can make that happen. Okay. All right, so we'll bring this. I kind of want to split the difference of where that is, but we'll bring this way a little bit. Okay. All right, so this is doing okay. I think we'll have to fill in some down here, but that's all right. Yeah, okay, I think this will be good. So, whoops, falling. Hi. Oh, yeah, I need to bring this out this way a little bit here, too. Okay. Nice. So this will be fairly easy. Though I think I do want to switch over to dirt a little bit. Because while I've got some grass, I don't have an infinite amount of grass. So we'll just fill in here with some dirt and let the grass spread and solve all of my grass lacking problems and stuff. All right. But yeah, today was an interesting day. I had to teach a class today on stuff. Hey, Snoopers, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, got to teach a class today. It was an introduction to Google Gemini for some of the employees at the university I work at. That was fun. Some weird tech issues on that one, but it is okay. We got something sorted out. So how you doing, Snoopers? Hopefully have you recovered from the macchiato buzz this morning and you're full of vim and vigor and all that stuff? Because if so, I could totally use some vim and vigor in my life. Call me Mr. Pearl. I'll tell you, in this case, no. I was, because it's just a couple of 1 hour workshops. It's like, all right, hi, let me introduce you to Gemini. Here's how you write prompts and stuff, all that good stuff, right? Nothing crazy. But I'll tell you, I did spend a semester doing adjunct, teaching as an adjunct professor, and that was weird. Oh, you got the big size today. Nice. No, boy, that was weird. So, for 2 semesters, I taught a class on systems administration one semester, and then advanced systems administration on the second semester. Okay, which was fun. Can we talk about her feelings for AI? A little bit. Let's not get overly contentious, but yeah. AI is one of those things, I don't mind dating. I don't know that I want to marry, I'm not sure where that sits in the FMK scale, but no, but no conspiracy theories. Yeah. But no, so I was teaching these two classes, and I'll tell you, so we had to have a somebody had to come in and observe one of my classes, okay? And I'll tell you, it was the weirdest thing when I got a copy of it and it referred to me as Professor and my name. And it's like, this is just weird. I mean, it was interesting. It had its moments. I liked doing it, but because honestly, I like teaching, so we got all that. As an adjunct, it wasn't a huge amount, but I did get that. This is just for this workshop, I am not. It's sort of a volunteer professional development opportunity. Well, and I'm on our campus AI task force, which is interesting and weird in a number of different ways. But we're trying to get some people, at least comfortable so they can use it where it makes sense to do so. So, yeah, just weird. All right. But yeah, it's one of those things. Honestly, they were looking for somebody from IT to be on the AI task force. Okay, and that's fine. But I have a little bit of a passion for this stuff. So I volunteered. And then it was like, oh, we should teach an intro class for this, just so people know how to use it and stuff. And I said, great, when do you want to teach it? It's like, oh, that's how it's going to be. Okay. So, yeah, it was a thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be better off without this jetpack or not when I go back to vanilla. I already know I'm totally out of practice with Elytra. I was trying to fly up to an AFK spot above my gold farm in the going solo world. It took me about 8 rockets to just circle around and land on the landing pad. It was a little crazy. Yeah, a bunch of totems. Actually, I think I do need to go allay hunting. So it's weird, right? I'm a one world type of guy, okay? I've learned that I have a hard time focusing on multiple worlds. Because I just start thinking about, oh, here's all the things I want to do in this other world that I'm not in at the moment, right? And that's kind of where I've been a little bit lately with, so I'm excited to get back into into vanilla and all of that fun stuff. It's like, no, wait, I have to finish this world first. I've got to, let's get this terraforming done. And I need to fix the mangrove farm and stuff before I go. Because, this world will be available for download for supporters at musicfreegaming.com. We'll get that set up and available for everybody there. Where'd I get all this dirt? Turns out I had a drill, and the drill did all the mining. Yeah, so in my main base, I've got a wall. It's that far side wall that just has you can see it's got a bunch of barrels and stuff of, you know, dirt and stone and stuff. Well, when I bring the drills back, that's just where everything gets dumped. Oops, I am out of dirt. Oh no. Yeah, the command for the site, it's exclamation point website. Though I think exclamation point just SITE works as well. But yeah, see, I've got this wall over here. All of this is actually bulk storage. So we're just, also, I don't really need that egg, but it's going to live there now. So yeah, it's cool. And the website just got a revamp this weekend, actually. Spent a little bit of time and updated the site. So you might need that. Well, I might. On the other hand, I have at least a double chest full of eggs in that farm. So because it turns out the chickens are more than happy to lay eggs while waiting for their death by socialization. Honestly, that's just what I think it needs to be called now. It's not entity cramming, it's death by socialization. End of season egg fight. Oh, my friend. We can launch vegetables at each other. There's a potato cannon, and you can just launch various veggies. That's how I killed the Ender Dragon in this world, was yeah, potato guns. As I shot the Ender Dragon with veggies. It was it took a while. Turns out carrots don't do a whole lot of damage. And the Ender Dragon did not especially care about the flaming potatoes. So, you know. Yeah, turns out baked potatoes will do fire damage. Poisonous potatoes, surprisingly enough, will do poison damage. Now, what veggie is the deadliest? I think it's golden carrots. I think golden carrots do the most damage. I don't know. I looked it up once because I was curious, but I haven't gone back to check on it. And just see, because it's not something I need to do often. But yeah, you can throw all sorts of veg at people. It's a special breed of fun. It also has a satisfying thwunk every time it shoots. You know, just like a good potato gun. Okay. Oh, I should switch back to dirt. Just because I have a lot more dirt than I have grass, so I'm just trying to fill in with some dirt where I can. Oh, excuse me. It is also, surprisingly enough, as it always is, allergy season for me. Ah, it's crazy. Your work building was once infested with bats. Oh, ick. That's not great. Oh, that doesn't sound like fun at all. I mean, this guy was telling you how they vacuumed it up. I can see it. We're just gonna suck up the bats. Whew. Am I gonna sneeze again? No? Okay, it died. That's it. Done it. We've killed the sneeze. That was before your time? Yeah. No, it drives me nuts a little bit because there are moths, like Miller moths, that show up in the library where my office is, and it's just not happy times for old Pearl Stalker over there. I might have to take a moment and go blow my nose, but oh, it is so annoying though, because I have a bad history with moths. Okay, it is not the moth's fault. Turns out kids in junior high are jerks. But that doesn't mean I like them. And I'm not overly thrilled with having them flying around my office. But yeah. So I'm pulling weeds and cutting out blackberries. Ooh. Flesh blackberries are not quite what we're looking for. Fresh blackberries, on the other hand, very tasty. I'm not a huge fan of berries, but blackberries are pretty tasty. All right, hang on just a minute. Okay, I'm back. The blackberries are a pest? Oh, yeah, I can see that. I'll tell you, my wife would commit actual murder if she could have a backyard full of raspberries. But where we live, blackberries or raspberries do not thrive. We are too high up and too cold and too dry for any of that sweet berry goodness. Let's see. You know what? Let's bring this in like so. Maybe not that one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing okay there. Yeah, I actually need to pull out. I do berries on oatmeal for breakfast in the morning. And I do frozen berries because it's easier. I need to migrate to Washington. Yeah. Now, my dad kept trying to get, I forgot what type of tree that they claimed it was a tree that he had around when he was growing up in New York. And they claimed it would grow in Colorado. I think they lied so they could sell trees to a desperate old man. But he tried. I wish I could remember what the berry was now. But he couldn't keep those things alive. Now, we do have an apple tree that every once in a while we actually get apples off of. And that's really fun. No, it wasn't a cherry tree. It was a, boy, what was it? I want to say it was like boysenberries or something, but I think I'm wrong. But whatever it was, he kept trying. And they kept dying, so, you know. Oh, I should probably bring this bed with me. I may want it later. But no, we've got an apple tree that's... I forgot what they are. Like heritage apples or something like that. They're a small apple on the sour side. Not my favorite to eat because I don't do sour very well these days. But it makes really good applesauce, and it makes even better apple juice, which I'm all about. I love apple juice. I can't drink it. Because I've got this stupid fructose intolerance, right? And it's apple juice just messes me up, man. Ligonberry. No, though I had some ligonberry jam. Oh, it was at a family reunion out in Tennessee. I don't know why it was in Tennessee because my family wasn't from Tennessee, but that's where we were. Oh, that ligonberry jam was so tasty. No, it was boysenberry, huckleberries, maybe. Something like that. I don't remember. Oh, but anyway, I loved apple juice, but I was realizing every time I drank it, it messed up my insides. It turns out that's not nearly as much fun as it sounds. So I stopped drinking apple juice. Well, we started, of course, we've got this apple tree, and we've been making apple sauce and stuff from it, which was fine. And you had raspberries. You don't like to eat them now because of how well bugs and spiders hid inside them. Okay, yes, I could see why that would not be a thing you'd want to deal with. That's fair. I had that. We used to buy sweet corn. My mom would buy this bushels of ears of sweet corn. And I'll tell you, if you've never had Olathe sweet corn from Olathe, Colorado, you are missing out. It is pretty amazing. But they would set us to shucking the corn, which was fine. But turns out corn sometimes has bugs that like to hide out in the ears, and that was just gross. But anyway, so I can't drink apple juice, but apparently the apples we get from our tree are sort of a lower fructose type apple because they're not as sweet and stuff. So I can actually drink a glass of this stuff before my stomach starts complaining, which is fabulous. We'll can it up and then we'll do like fresh hot apple cider and stuff during the holidays and stuff. Oh, that is so good. Throw in some cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice and stuff like that into it. It's like so good. So I can typically only drink 1 cupful of that before I can go anywhere else, but you know, so good. Okay, so we'll bring a little bit of grass in here too, just to be sure the grass spreads here some. Oh, but it's great. I love the taste of apple juice. Just can't eat this stupid stuff. We can't drink it. I have the same problem eating apples, but that doesn't stop me some days. A great court in Minnesota. Yeah. There are a few places that they are good at the veggies. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I can click buttons. There we go. So the corn, it's Olathe, Olathe, and it's a sweet corn. All right, so cool. And dang, it's good. Said we would just every fall it just shows up. You just buy it by the ear, and nice. And it's weird because Olathe. I'm gonna get. Whoa, hang on. There's darkness under here. We can't have that now. Oh, look at all the darkness. No. We're not letting out the darkness of my soul today. You go away. Okay. Oh, there's a festival. That doesn't surprise me in the least. All right. Cool. That's got all of that nice and taken care of. All right. Yeah. But yeah, we do that. What I love, I'll tell you, fall is one of my favorite times of year. But one of the reasons I love fall is the smell. Because come fall, the chili pepper harvest comes in and the whole town smells of fresh roasted chilies. And that is so amazing. And they're like Hatch, New Mexico chilies or Pueblo chilies. And it is so good. We always make sure to pick up half a bushel or so. Probably a little less these days since we don't have as many people here. And we'll package up a bunch and freeze it so that when we're cooking, we can throw some delicious roasted chilies in with whatever it is we're cooking. And it is amazing. All right. So I do have to apologize to this tree over here. Okay. This one, it was a magnificent tree. Now it's a bush. Okay. Which, it's fine. It's fine. It can sit here and be a bush and, just embrace it. I don't know that it wants to embrace it, but you know how trees are. They get moody and stuff, Never lived until you know the love of a tree. Oh man. Sorry, the last unicorn was fun, and it's one of those fun little lines. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yep. Hide under a bushel. No. I'm gonna let it shine. Boy, we sang that so much when I was in Sunday school. Yeah, I grew up Presbyterian. And so, yeah, we were all about that stuff, man. Yep, a couple of times. I remember one summer I was out visiting my mom. I was still in high school, and they had moved out to the Carolinas. And that summer, my sister and I got volunteered to lead the activities, like the outside play around type activities for Vacation Bible School. And yeah, that was fun. Yep, 100% voluntold. It was, and honestly, I didn't mind too much. It was fun. My only real complaint about it is it was the middle of summer in South freaking Carolina. Which, if you've never been out to the Carolinas in the summer, count yourself blessed. Because it is hot, and it is humid, and it is just generally unpleasant. But, still, it was fun. Oh, but yeah, they were actually up in kind of sort of in that area where that got all flooded after the hurricane this last year or so, up Greenville way. And yeah. Fortunately, none of my family lives over there anymore, so I didn't have to deal with that. But yeah, no, I could totally deal with that humidity. Okay, I have to admit, I laughed at my new wife. It happens, So we had just gotten married. Okay, 85 there. He got lightheaded being outside. I think it was 85 here as well, but it's a dry heat, which so is a blast furnace, but at least it's not humid. But no, my wife and I had just gotten married, and we had been married up in Idaho, and so we were going to head out to South Carolina to spend a little time with my family, because my wife's family was from up Idaho, Utah way, and do a little wedding reception out there, and give my wife a chance to meet my family and stuff like that, because well, she'd met my dad, she hadn't really spent time with my mom or my sisters or anything like that. Okay, fun. So we're heading out there, and this was 96. Okay. Oh, hi, dude. You know what? I think this is not the place for you. Okay? Okay. Anyways, it was like 96 because it was... I remember we were out there and we're seeing Olympics teams fly into the Atlanta airport, which is where we flew in, which was kind of fun, especially for my wife, who is a huge Olympics nut. She loves watching the Olympics, so that was all sorts of fun for her. But here we are. We are flying out of Idaho, and she'd never really been east of Colorado. Okay, so this was going to be an adventure for her. Yeah, the cow is it's a cave cow. And cave cows are great. Their meat is very delectable for those who choose to seek them out. Okay, what did I do on the other side of this thing? Anyway, so I think I'm gonna actually take cobblestone here. That'll work. So anyway, we just got married. We're gonna go out to see my family. So we book a flight. We have a connecting flight in Houston. All right, now this is July 4th weekend. All right, so setting the stage here. It is the most miserable time of the summer to be anywhere that has water in the air. Okay, it's not great. It's not a great time. But here we are. We're doing it. We are flying into Atlanta. But our connecting flight's in Houston. We get off the plane, and my lovely blushing bride, who also happened to be pregnant, was it's like, dude, this sucks. It's hot. It's humid, and all of this stuff. Okay, and I agreed with her. This was not fun. On the other hand, it was Houston, which wasn't all that unreasonable, really. But I'm laughing to myself because our next stop is in Atlanta. And, yeah, it turns out Atlanta just sucks, but also it's hot in the summer, and humid, and miserable, and stupid. And again, my wife is pregnant. So, we fly out of Houston, or we get off the plane in Houston, we're coming down the jetway, and she's like, just suffocating because of the moisture in the air, and I'm like chuckling a little bit because I know what's coming. Okay, and I think our terraforming is just about done here, which is great. But she was right; it was humid, it was miserable, but that was fine. So we get into the airport, we get on our flight, we fly out, we land in Atlanta, and we get off the plane, and she takes a deep breath. And, it's like breathing through a hot, wet towel, right? And she is just like, no, what is this? It's just humid. It's like, no, she did like the fact that there was air, okay? Because my wife is one of those people who, her body totally likes being pregnant, but and she gets big quickly. Okay, You know, you see those women who's like, oh yes, I'm 8 months pregnant, and you can barely tell. Yeah, no, she was looking horribly uncomfortable at like 3 months. Okay, but yeah, no, we get off the plane and she is just dying, and we're actually both laughing about it because it's like, yeah, it is 100% miserable out here, but it was, and I know, never laugh at the pregnant woman. Especially my new wife. We'd been married for about 2 weeks, you know. So, um, but yeah, it was. So that wasn't ideal, but still, it was an okay trip. And we had probably one of the most. So, have you ever been in a room? Let's see. You had a friend like that. She had asking everyone if she's about to be due. She's only 20 weeks. Yeah, right. Those poor people who they just get big fast. But no, we had a. So here we are out in South Carolina. Okay. Now I said, have you ever been in a place where there are a bunch of people chatting, and they have different accents? Doesn't matter what the accents are, just, they're just drastically different accents. Yeah. So there was us, okay? Now, obviously, I have the most exotic accent of all, right? I'm from Colorado. I have the just generic Colorado nothing accent. And most of my parents are the same way. Even though they're from New York, they pretty much did not have accents, okay? As my dad got older, his R's disappeared, that type of thing. But, well, okay, so here we are. We're out there doing fine. My sisters are picking up a little bit of Southern, especially my baby sister. But, okay, no big deal. And then there's all of my mom's very Southern friends. Like, they're all like talking out there with their sweet tea and their love and life and all their lovely Southern and happy hospitality nonsense. And it was crazy. But also there were a couple of mom's friends from New England. And they had... Why am I hearing... What are you doing up there? Anyway, they had the thickest, like, Boston accent. And I'll tell you, a Boston accent and a South Carolina accent, they don't mesh well. It's like, you listen to someone from Australia and New Zealand, it's like, oh yeah, they're you can tell there's differences, but they're really close and all that stuff. No. Oh no. They were... Yeah, the fast-talking Boston, all of this stuff, and I can't even attempt to do a Boston accent. And all of this, my mom's Southern friends, and it's like, we... Just trying to keep up was its own special breed of fun, I'll tell you. Alright. I think the grounds here are now pretty good. That actually went faster than I thought. Nice. Do I have bone meal? Oh, I do have bone meal. Perfect. Let's sleep and let's just bone meal the snot out of this stuff. I need to get some glow lichen. I don't have glow lichen. But that's okay. So that was... Anyway, so that was a special breed of fun. But yeah, I felt bad. I always felt bad for my wife when she's pregnant because she really is that just... She gets big fast and... all that fun stuff. Yeah, glow lichen. It's one of those things. I'll totally get it one of these days. Okay, I'm going to be shutting down the server in probably a week, so I may not do that. Let's take this torch out. We'll throw some frog light over here. But yeah, I've 100% been saying that for like 6 months. Oh, I should get some glow lichen to put on the top of the roofs and stuff. Yep. Okay. I don't need to go super crazy with this, but it should blend in a little bit with the rest of the natural stuff here. Now, like I said, her body likes to be pregnant, so there's fun stuff. You know how most women have, right, you take your prenatals and stuff, and they need iron, right? Because it turns out being a baby factory, maybe that's not the best way of putting it, but building a person inside your body uses up a lot of blood and iron and stuff, or it uses up is maybe the wrong term, but you know, all that fun stuff. And turns out my wife typically has high iron, and all of the prenatals gave her too much iron. So doctor said, you know what? Go grab a jar of Flintstones chewables. And that was great because it turns out Flintstones vitamins, ridiculously cheap when compared to prenatals. But yeah, it was a special breed of fun, that trip. It was nice though when the hurricane came through and temperatures dropped, there was a breeze. It was wonderful. Yeah, Flintstones are great. I miss chewable vitamins. I could get chewable vitamins, but there is no way I'm going to spend twice as much for vitamins. You know, I will swallow the vitamins. I'm not that picky about it. But she has crazy cravings. I think when she was pregnant with our first, the craziest one was, maybe not crazy, but the one that she had for most of her pregnancy was Taco Bell. She wanted Taco Bell. We couldn't get to Taco Bell, but she wanted some. I live in a land that has amazing Mexican food, and she wanted Taco Bell. It's like, okay, no, this is fine. We're totally fine here. No, the watermelon, I think at one point, fortunately it was in season when she wanted it, so that helped. But one of the things that really, it wasn't so much a craving as foods that made her sick. Oh, you had different cravings with each pregnancy? Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, look at all these guys getting all kissy over here. Yeah, she had it wasn't so much cravings, so she had those. It was more like she had different things that made her sick. Right? And yes, there were some cravings and stuff too, but with our last one, she couldn't eat like anything dairy, right? The closest she could have to actually having cheese was the little bit of the one sliver of cheese or whatever they put into frozen burritos. Okay. And that was it. My mom came out to visit because my wife was on bed rest for 6 months with our last one. And, tell you, that sucked. But mom came out and she had brought a little container of actual butter. And, we didn't realize it because we had a similar sized container of, margarine. And my wife put a little bit on her bread. She took a bite. She barely swallowed it before she was in the bathroom. It's like, holy cow. And she had what were basically diabetic reactions to butter. Like people who are diabetic and they have sugar and sometimes right now they're instantly throwing up and having some issues like that. Same type of reactions, just with dairy. It was interestingly strange. But yeah, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, and she was on bed rest. She had a, what was it? It was a placental abruption, which sounds scary. You had asthma when you were pregnant. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. Women's bodies go through so many weird things when they're pregnant, and it's just, why are you pregnant women glowing? Because we've spent the last 4 hours throwing up. That's why. Yeah, I'd heard of somebody who they were legally blind, but when they were pregnant, their eyesight fixed. It's like, okay, yeah, that's actually kind of cool and weird how that works, but okay. But yeah, it was just weird and stuff. But yeah, no, she had a placental abruption, which, yeah, it seems like pregnancy is not natural. Yeah. Well, with the bed rest, the abruption, what that means is basically the placenta is, sorry, I know this is more graphic than I typically get to, but the placenta was pulling away from the uterine wall. Okay. Turns out that's not good. Okay. That's not good at all. So that's why she ended up on bed rest, because she had to not do anything to keep from jiggering off and getting any of the, making it looser or accidentally shaking the placenta loose, which, you know, it's definitely not a fun sounding thing to have to happen. Hi. Why are you here? Yeah, no, you're selling to the wrong people. Try next door. Oh, so yeah. And yep, that was the last kid. We had the other ones were still young, because we had all of our kids fairly close together, and we were homeschooling. So the good news is she could still homeschool. She just had to do it from the couch. And fortunately, I was able to work from home for those 6 months. So that was handy. So I could make lunch for everybody. I could do all of the cooking and stuff that needed to happen. And my wife was able to handle homeschooling the kids and taking care of a lot of those types of things. And if something needed to be gotten or whatever, I could do it. But yeah, it was Riley's number one. Yeah, well, she chats a lot, you know. So yeah, that was the thing. I was glad I was able to work from home, and I was close enough to work that if something did happen, I could go in. It wasn't too bad. My oldest kids. Jeez, how old was my oldest? Probably 6 years older. So yeah, so she was 6 or 7 at the time, which, still little, but at least old enough that, hey, could you go get this? And she could go get it, The sneezes are back. The sneezes are back. Okay, let's sleep and then we'll take a look and see what the terrain is doing. See, I think we're doing good. So we'll probably go take a look and see if I can get the mangrove farm spun up again. Or excuse, the redstone fairy got into the dust again. That would explain the sneezes. definitely explain the sneezes. Okay. All right, so we're just going to take a quick pass. Oh, there's a dark spot over here. Let's do something about that. But it was kind of nice. Mom came out for about 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks? 6 weeks. I think she was out here for 6 weeks just to help take care of things for a while, which was fine. 6 weeks out of versus 6 months, definitely helped. But she took the older 3, and our youngest stayed here because she was only a year old at the time. But Mom took the youngest 3 and took him up for a weekend up in Denver. And that helped us a little bit, and she got to spend time with my kids, which was nice. Took them to Casa Bonita and all that fun stuff, It's always nice to, if you have a chance to go to the Disneyland of Mexican restaurants, Oh, hey. It's, Your mom came out, your youngest, and the day after she left, you ended up in the ER? Oh, that sucks. Oh, the timing on that, man. Do I have, doesn't look like I actually have any girders. All right, how do I craft girders? Girder? Okay. Alloys and sheets. I think I actually have both of those. Yeah, it's weird how that happens sometimes. We had one and sheets. There we go. She came right back and then going with you on a trip to the Oregon coast. Nice. Yeah, it was fun. A few years later, Mom came out to visit for Christmas. Because, living out in the Carolinas, that's a long way from Colorado, okay? And, I think I put the stuff in the, darn it. Anyway, yeah, so long way from Colorado. So it's like, okay, come out for Christmas and this will be great. Well, we get out here, or she gets out here, and we're all excited. So we've got Christmas stuff going on, all the goodness. Christmas Day comes, presents are wrapped, all that good stuff, or unwrapped typically. And then I get up the next morning. It's the day after Christmas, and Mom's up, which is not totally unusual. She was typically an early riser, but so am I. And I talked to her. She says, I think I might be having a heart attack. Now, heart attack in men is fairly easy because you get the whole elephant on your chest and the left arm goes numb and all sorts of stupidness. Women, heart attack in women is just weird. I don't know what's wrong with you people. No, but so Mom ended up spending most of the rest of that trip in intensive care. She wasn't having a heart attack. What she had was worse and better. It wasn't quite as serious as a heart attack. But let's got some stone and all that stuff. All right, cool. Let's go fix the mangrove machine. Now, what she ended up she'd been dealing with something off and on for a while, and she didn't quite know what was going on. As she was dealing with fatigue, a little shortness of breath at times, stuff like that. Oops, that's not where any of that goes. But, she was also getting older and she was out of shape. And, you know how it is. You start making excuses for why you can't breathe, right? Yes, turns out I'm old and fat. No wonder I get tired when I walk a long way or something. It's like, yeah, no wonder. Well, she came out to visit us. Now, where we're at, we're up in the mountains, okay? Yeah, you have no idea what it's like. Oh, no, totally. I get, train. No, I totally get that. Yeah, no. So she comes out and, oh, hang on. Don't have stuff in there. All right, I'm going to take a quick run over here and pick up some mangrove propagules. Okay, right. So, but she was making those excuses for herself, right? It's like, oh yeah, this is just what it is. I'm just old. I'm overweight. I'm tired because of that. Well, she comes out here, and now she's having all of this. Unfortunately, they couldn't do an EKG because the one lab tech we have in our entire mountain valley was on vacation. Yeah, that's just, yep, that's how it is. So I did some look. Well, it turns out she went back to South Carolina. It took a while for doing some tests. Her lungs were not working. They were not able to process air appropriately. Okay? Now, remember, we're at, right? Oh, whoa! We're at 7,400 feet. So, oxygen is sort of a problem for some people. And yeah, that's kind of what was going on, is that her body was not able to process all of the oxygen that she needed at altitude. But when she was home in South Carolina, where they have oxygen, because they just like to hoard the stuff out there, you know, those silly Carolinians and their desire to breathe, you know, all that fun stuff. Okay. Yeah, so basically what I want to do is I'm trimming back where the mangrove can grow. Because what was happening with this farm is it was, sometimes there'd be so much mangrove grown up here that it would, as it harvested, it would crash the server. Okay, that's not great. But yeah, so that was what was happening, is she was tired because it turns out she was not getting air. She wasn't getting oxygen. But it manifests in a lot of ways the same way as heart problems do. In that, oops, this is the block I want. So yeah, it was a really strange, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was just a really strange thing that she had to deal with. And eventually they were able to work through some of that. You know, she went back home with an air compressor, or an oxygen compressor type tank. All right, I think we're good with this. I've got to go. I dropped some stuff on this belt, so I need to go clean off. But I think we're good. So let's get the farm cooking again. Preferably in a way that doesn't get me cut in half. All right. So yeah, that was crazy. And it took them a long time, because at first they thought it was in fact a heart issue. And then they did some more tests, and they did some more tests, and it turns out, yeah, she just needed a hardware store. Yeah, we'll just hit this air compressor. It'll be great, you know. But yeah, so it was actually kind of scary. But it ended up being a real blessing, because it was not something out there in South Carolina where there was actual oxygen in the air. It was just, I'm just feeling tired, right? But when she came out here, and said we're up in the mountains, so 7,400 feet or so, and that magnified all of the problems that she was having. And yeah, it would have gone undiagnosed, or when they finally did figure out something was seriously wrong, aside from being just old and overweight, there was a potential for a lot more damage to have been done. So it said it ended up being a real blessing for us. But oh, it was scary for a while, and but we got it sorted out. Now, it's also not the first time. Apparently, at one point when my mom and dad were first married, mom ended up in the hospital for something. Basically, her immune system just decided to start attacking her body. And they managed to get that sorted out, and then she was fine and didn't really have a problem again. But mom's body was just weird. And then later she ended up dying of leukemia. So, all the fun things that can happen. You're like, oh yeah, my body is perfectly normal. This is great. Yeah. So yeah, they didn't diagnose it as anything in particular that I recall. So yeah, could it have been lupus? Who knows? But it was definitely an autoimmune disorder of some sort. Yep, I did. I've got it. I got it. We're good. It's stashed there in my backpack. We'll be fine. I totally won't lose it there again. But, yeah. All the fun, right? Also, shout out to the new followers on all the places you're following. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, it was just, I was just crazy sauce. And then, yeah, said mom ended up with leukemia, and that was just crazy and annoying. And of course, she had to get a weird breed of leukemia too. And it's like, yeah, this is a two-way. Okay. I don't remember. It was like LDL leukemia or something like that. It was strange. Okay, so we've got ourselves some, am I doing this the right way? Yeah. One of these days, I'll remember which side I'm putting the swing arm on these semaphores, but today is not that day. Hey, Christian, welcome. You had to be on Instagram. Nice, thank you for that. Yep, spam out all the fun clips over there on Instagram. And some of the, maybe not so fun. Ah, look. So you sound like you're trying to spam and sell services. That is not allowed here. So we are just going to drop a quick ban. All right. Kick has been interesting. I've liked streaming over there, but holy cow, it's spam central over there some days. Yeah, just leave it. Okay, so. All right, so I think we're good. So that should. Yeah, you see why that sucker goes crazy. Yep. Yeah. I don't like people coming into my chat and trying to sell me stuff. It's just one of those things. Yeah, ocean fire. Honestly, I wouldn't mind being in Arizona. Like northern Arizona, though. I want to be up in the mountains. I want to be up at like Prescott, Snowflake, and stuff like that. I have zero desire to be down in like Tucson or Phoenix. Yeah, no, that's not for me. You know, I had a laugh when I actually found out the origin of the name Snowflake, Arizona. Turns out they didn't name it after snow. I know, all of you out are shocked that they didn't have snow-themed city names out in Arizona. No, it's it rained every time you've been in Arizona. I can see that. No, it turns out there were two families that moved into the area, the Snows and the Flakes, and they were fighting over the name of the town, so they just called it Snowflake. It's like, yeah, that I can see that. All right, so we are doing better there. So hopefully this won't get overly built up. You know what? Hang on. We're going to have to... I think I want to cut this back just a touch. Here, so let's stop the machine. Yeah. Yeah, it is 100% true. Okay, so we've got 3 things there. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy, but yeah. Oh, the growly people. These guys are in a boat. You know, they're living their best lives, you know. They got their crossbows out. They're having fun, you know. All right. All right. Well, you go and do your stuff. This is a little propagule farm, which, you know, in case I need more propagules, I can throw a little bone meal into this system, and it grows propagules. So, which is handy. I've needed it a couple of times. Oh, that is one thing I am so excited to try over in the solo, or what I need to maybe we'll just start abbreviate it GS3. But when I get back to vanilla, is playing with villagers in boats. I was watching, was it Cub Fan the other day? He had a bunch of hermits, and he airlifted an entire village with a happy ghast. Yeah, if you bone meal the mangrove leaves, you'll get a propagule, and then you can bone meal a propagule to grow it the 4 stages it needs to be a thing. Yeah, it's handy, especially because sometimes it's tough to get the propagules you need out of the leaves. But yeah, anyway, so I was watching, so I think it was Cub Fan, and I think the stream I was watching it on was either Impulse or Pearl, but he had a like 10, 15 villagers in boats, all leashed together, and then connected to a happy ghast, and he just lifted them all up. It was like a jellyfish, or you know, with all the tentacles hanging down. Just floated the entire village over to where he wanted them to go. It's like, oh, that is just sweet. That was just fun to watch. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I was thrilled. That was just said, it was just funny to see, and I loved it. And he'd already set up the reception area for them. It's like, okay, they're gonna land here. Here's my little airlock. You know, so that they'll stay where I put them when I break boats, you know. Important considerations when dealing with villagers who have the self-preservation skills of a toddler, which might be insulting the toddler to some extent. But, oh, there's some fun ones. There's one, I'm not sure how much I would enjoy it because I'm not a huge fan of parkour, but heck, I think it was Cub, where it's basically, he calls it gasket ball. The idea is you start at a high platform and you get a snowball and snow falling potion, or slow falling potions. Snow falling potions are entirely different. That's when you really need to see somebody about your dandruff, okay? And then you get like Head and Shoulders or, you know, something like that, so you don't have snow falling problems, you know, that type of thing. Okay, we're gonna have to come into here now. Let's load up this merry-go-round again. Anyway, so you go up on this high platform and let's see. Yeah, I think I can pop. There we go. And you use the snowballs to lure the ghasts over and try to make your way across the top of a dozen or a couple of dozen ghasts to get to the other side and land on whichever platform for points. And that was kind of cool. So how do they lure ghasts? Ghasts are attracted to snowballs. So yeah, you just hold a snowball just like you would hold wheat for a cow or something like that. Yeah, snowballs. That's also, if you want to grow up a happy ghast, that's how you do it. So you rehydrate the little happy ghast block. And then once you get the little baby floating ghast, you can just shove snowballs down its face until it grows up. Speaking of growing up, villagers. That's right. That's why I'm here. You have so many things to learn. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I'm excited to get into this version now of Minecraft. That's probably too many villagers. Okay, this'll work. Because I want to play with the happy ghast. I haven't done enough with the crafter. We had the crafter on Tinker through resource packs or data packs or whatever. But I haven't done a whole lot with the crafter, so I'm going to do some more with that. And there was something else I wanted to, that was fairly new that I wanted to play with. Not me. You. Okay. That's right. That's right. We're going to get a bunch of villagers. They're going to love it. It's going to be the happiest place on Earth. Assuming they don't all just disappear again. Which would be lovely. Yeah, there was something else. I don't remember what now. It was something fun and exciting. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There was a merchant over here. Yes. Hi. How are you? Hang on. I must ride your llama. Okay. You know, if I kill this guy, these llamas will never be my friends. And we can't have that now. So, let's see. Do I have tools? I really want these llamas to be my friends. So, we're going to wait. You know, the problem with some of these wandering traders is they get hot flashes, okay? And, you know, I understand it can be a problem. You know, but fortunately, it's not a problem that lasts very long. So, you know, it's like having athlete's foot, right? You feel the burn for a little while, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Hi. Okay. Love me. Love me. Okay. cool. This one loves me. And, yeah. Yeah, the new lead mechanics are actually really cool. Because one of the things I've wanted to be able to do for a long time is like llamas will follow other llamas, right? Which is very cool. But and you can put chests on them and stuff, so you can get this whole caravan of storage. Oh, our windmill is glitching out again. But the problem you end up running into is that they'll wander off. Well, now since you can lead mobs, leash mobs together in a chain, you get a whole chain of llamas and mules or donkeys or whatever you want, right? And it's really cool. Yep, come on, guys. Okay, remember, look both ways before crossing the streets. Okay. Come through the park. Here we go. Oh yeah, these llamas are they're gonna have some fun. So we're gonna stick one of them right. One of them goes there. Let's bring the other one. Let's put this one. Should this one on the inside? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Some nice happy llamas. They get to spend time on this merry-go-round for the rest of their lives. It's gonna be great. They'll love it. Let's see now. What else are we going to do? I've got more seats. I don't know. What should we find a cow or something? There are always animals that fall down here. Are we? No, they're all sad. I've also taken like all of the animals that have spawned over here and had them drive trains and stuff. And so most of them have died in the line of duty. We salute them. Whoa! Speaking of trains and dying in the line of duty, you have a dog? I have got a couple of dogs too. So you know what? Let's go breed up some dogs. So that's the other thing I haven't played with much is the different dog variants that are out there. And yeah, the animals by your house. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna need the meats, don't we? Dogs breed with meats. Hi. I would like some of your meats. That's pressed cocoa. We should not give that to dogs. But we've got some raw pork chops. This will be fun. Okay, this will work. This'll work. Let's rotten flesh works too. Yes. Hi. All right, come with me. Yeah. You two are about to spend a romantic about 45 seconds. Okay, wasn't even that long. All right. You guys are good. I'm going to steal your puppy. Come here, puppy. For some reason now I feel like Cruella de Vil. I probably shouldn't, but I do. Okay. Hi. Let's whoa, not kill the puppy. Okay, here. Feel better. Yeah, you feel so much better. Okay. That would have been bad. Like, hi, you're gonna go for a bouncy ride, and also, I'm gonna drop you from the ceiling, and you're going to die. And now, whoa, okay. Hi. Come here. Whoa, no. Okay. Do me a favor, and don't die. Okay, good. Come here. How we doing? He tried to die, but failed, so that's a good thing. We're going to come over here past the ice cream shop. You are going to not get ice cream, but that's okay. Dogs shouldn't have ice cream anyway, so, Come here. We'll just... There you go. There you go. Who's a happy puppy? You're totally a happy puppy. All right. Oh, hang on. We must fix the trains. Hi, you. You go there. And you go here. It's great fun. All right. Do I have food type feeding things? Oh, I have some seeds. Should we see if we can find a chicken? I don't think I have wheat. I mean, do I have wheat nearby? I wonder where I might find wheat if I want to breed cows or sheep or something. Somehow I will find it. I just don't know where it could possibly be. It's there's got to be some somewhere. Oh, that's true. We could just throw eggs. That is 100% true. Egg fight. See, look at all these guys over here. I have no idea why I have so many villagers in this farm now, but they like it there. So, oh, what are the golems? Actually, I do need to set up a new iron golem. I had one there as a ticket taker. So I don't think I want to put one on the ride, but hi. You seem like a you know what? Let's just go get eggs and throw eggs. You know, I could coax a chicken, but where's the fun in that? We're just going to throw eggs at things. Oh, this area's looking so good now. Aside from the glitching windmills. It's your horsey. Yeah, because I had an iron golem set back in here. You know, taking tickets and stuff, but he disappeared when all of the mobs on the merry-go-round disappeared too. It was such a weird thing. All right, let's go get some eggs. So we'll head back to the meat factory over here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because all of them were gone. All of the, every critter that was on the, well, that's feathers. Oh, it's down over there. Yeah, all of the critters that were on, the merry-go-round. And the iron golem that was out front. They all just vanished. What are you doing down here? You're just laying eggs on my... Go away. Alright, hang on. I must apparently clean up eggs. Oh, good. It was a short life. A cursed life. Okay. You know what? That can all go someplace else. Apparently someplace else is my inventory. Gad, brain. Okay. You go there. Alright. Egg. 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 I don't... This should have gotten picked up by something. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Cool. So. Yep, and there's an egg under there. Okay. Good. The meat farm was broken because a chicken got into it. That's... Okay. Okay. That's totally how that was supposed to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, fine. All right. Anyway. Let's get back here. I also fixed my chocolate farm. It was having some issues, so. got that sorted out this before stream. All right. So we've got leads, we've got eggs. All right. We're now stuck under the contraption. Cool. All right. Now let's try to not kill my villagers with eggs. Hi. No, no, no. Come back here. You're about to have the most fun you've ever had in your life. Okay, admittedly, it's been alive for about 10 seconds, so how much fun are you going to have? But still. Okay, no, no, you two. It escaped. Where did it go? Why do I not see you anymore? All right. Well, we had a runaway chicken. It has, you know, run away, apparently. All right. Okay, there we go. Come back here. No, no, no. You hide in the grass. I see you there. Okay, you're gonna come over here, and you're gonna sit right there. Wonderful. Okay, good. We've got some chickens here. We've got some dogs. Let's throw a couple more villagers in places. And I think, I don't know. Do I want to fill it up? Yeah, it's so cozy. It's going to be great. Don't know. Trying to decide if I want to actually fill in all the seats or if I'm okay intentionally leaving a couple of them empty. And, whoa, train. I think for now, I think I'm going to go with the emptiness. Okay, sometimes we all have to deal with the emptiness inside, and that's... How did I get in there? I cut through someplace. Oh, right there. Aha! All right. Cool. So now... There we go. There we go. See, now they're having all the fun. Oh, so much fun. All right. I love it. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is let's see if I can get another iron golem. For that, I will in fact need iron and a jack-o'-lantern, which I think I have both of those somewhere. The iron I know I have. I've got so much iron. Yeah, and, you know, creeper explosions, but iron. Okay, so we'll grab, oops. Yep, blocks of iron. Guess I'll put these villagers back in their tiny little box too while I'm thinking about it. Or maybe sometime after I've been thinking about it. Okay. Oh, planning ahead. It's so cool. I should try that one of these days. Okay. All right. Okay. Villagers go back in the box. Yep, and this is cool. All you have to do is throw some food. In this case, I was throwing carrots. Right? You just take... Right, I just want... Just grab a half a stack of carrots. Just throw some food in there. And eventually, you know, these villagers decide to eat the food. And then you get baby villagers in this box. And they get incubated and end up in here. So, you know... Really, really easy villager farm because there's only so many of those I want to build in a lifetime. Yeah. Now, this was a series about doing all of the create and all the food and not about, you know, iron farms and villager breeders and stuff like that. It's just glitching out hard. Okay. So I happen to have, right, I think it was under here. Whoa! Yeah, there it is, right under there. My handy dandy. Okay, so I think I can do it like so. All right, so let's grab the... maybe not. Okay, hi. All right, come here. We're going to connect you up there. You're going to love it. All right. Great. Now, you just kind of stay there for the rest of your life, and we should be fine. We're just going to pretend we can't see the lead that's tying you to your work. Right? Nah, he's perfectly great. Just, watching all of the villagers do their thing. And the dogs and the llamas. Because the animals want to have fun too. Right? Absolutely. Now, actually, I kind of wonder if I hadn't somehow gotten pillagers or something over here. Because the iron golem was tied up, it wouldn't have been able to fight the pillagers. And then the pillagers would have come up and shot all of the villagers that were here. And probably would have hit some of the other animals as part of that process. And then despawned. Oh, yes, you could totally ride a llama while, riding the ride. Yeah. You can just hop up here, right? This is... Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Total merry-go-round action, It's great fun. We're totally set here, right? Let's free cam off. There we go. See, all the fun. Gotta love a little merry-go-round, where you can just sit and enjoy, spinning until you throw up. Because this ride doesn't stop. Okay. Cool. All right. So, yeah, I need to get the free cam. Yeah, I used the free cam from Tweakaroo. There's another one I've also installed for vanilla. And it's just called free cam, I think. Do I have it here? No, I don't think so. But what it does is it gives you a detached camera also. So it's not just, oh, look, I can free cam and stuff. You can actually set the camera. It's almost like sitting it on a tripod. And then you can jump back and forth to it so that you can see what's going on. Like if you're building like a big piece of landscape, right? You're doing landscaping or building a bigger build, you want to see what it looks like from a distance, you keep having to go back and forth, right? That kind of sucks. You can just set a camera up in an area. So you go build, and then you can jump to the camera, and then you jump back, and you can set up like up to 6 cameras, I think. It's really fun. Okay. Well, let's take a pass and make sure we've got all of the train signals in place. But yeah, that one's fun. But yeah, I just use Tweakaroo has a built-in free cam, which is what I typically use for that. And works out pretty well. All right, hang on. I think this golem has been hit by a train once or twice, I'm trying to decide if I want to close the portcullis. I don't know if it'll matter, but, see how many villagers keep disappearing into places. Oh, brother, where art thou? Yeah, see? He just walks on the train tracks. And then, trains go by. Ah, yes. Sit by a train. It's sad. I actually haven't seen that movie. I am. You need to watch it again? Yeah. Yeah, I like having the villagers here. I've been tempted to take a couple of composters and throw them out, you know, further out in the field just to spread some villagers out, but I would love it. Okay. Oh, hi. All of the other villagers have come inside, and so now they're, I've now closed them off from their home. They're, here. Go ahead. Turns out villagers are not able to open a portcullis. Yeah, they just... Of course, they're also dumb. These guys want to walk through the trapdoors, and they just can't. It's just silly. All right. So, all right, let's put all of my tools away. All right, I have one more thing I want to get done before I'm really done with this world. And, oh yeah, getting... Yep, things are working here. We're getting sugar, which is getting us all of our happy caramel in this case, which is great. No, but the last thing I want to do in this world is... Sorry, that just sounds really final, you know? It's almost like, hey, my time is growing short. We're going to, I'm planning my own funeral, but the last thing I want to do is eat ice cream with Kevin Bacon. I don't know. I don't even know if Kevin Bacon likes ice cream, and that would just be silly. No, the last thing I want to do is, I want to do a little bit of building here because I want to get, I kind of want to finish this, and I want to build a little bit of a building around the cactus farm. Okay. Oh, I'm a parent to the out of spruce. Out of spruce. What would I do? If only I had a tree farm. Yeah. There's just a little bit of interior I want to do. I want to build a building around the cactus farm. And then I think at that point, we're going to be done, I guess. Which is cool. Alright, so that's going to go in there. Yeah, I remember... I don't know. I don't know why I had... Because I know I'd seen... I remember when... Or not necessarily when, but I remember that... Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou came out, but I don't really remember anything about it. So... I think I remember seeing it and thinking, okay, this might not be for me, and moving on. But I think I was probably at a point in my life where it's like, if it's not an action movie, I am not watching it. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Nice. Oh, that'd be dark oak, Captain. We must go grab the dark oak from the farm if we are going to finish building these glorious builds. Dark oak is over here. That should be enough. If it's not, we'll move on. Yeah, this is why I have all of this moss carpet. It's from the mangrove farm. Okay. Let's go do the thing. It's got a lot of subtle humor to it. Nice. Alright, so this is going to come up like so. I need some dark oak planks because that's what I'm doing the ceiling out of. Turns out that's spruce. I got spruce planks and spruce logs because of... Alright. Alright, so we're gonna go get the dark oak. Because the last guy we sent to get dark oak was an idiot. Okay? He was big fool, and we are going to not let him do the stupid again. We're going to come over here and get actual dark oak. He's going to be beautiful. You know, sometimes I amaze even myself. All right. All right, all right. We'll get there. We'll console ourselves with a chicken cheeseburger and get this going. All right. Ta-da! Look, dark oak. It's great. Okay. Yeah, so there was just a little bit of interior work here. I've been part of it I've been putting off because I didn't know how far this was going to go. Like I didn't know how. Oh, do I have oak? I think I have oak. Maybe I have oak. I didn't know how far I wanted to go with some of this stuff, right? Okay. Like I didn't know how far I wanted. I was going to be pulling out magical stuff going this way, you know, stuff like that. Crafting table. I've got one. Look, I have a crafting table. Okay. Sticks. And signs may break my thines. I don't know what a thine is, but I really don't want mine broken. Okay. This one is Swift Sneak. Ta-da! So yeah, so anybody who's visiting this world later, they can just come over here and yeah, get their Swift Sneak pants and it'll be great. Get all the Swift Sneak. Kind of feeling like I might need some light over here too, but that's okay. Yeah, I've got torch spam in here. I'm not going to do anything about it, but it's there. I acknowledge I have a torch spam problem. Speaking of problems, I also have inventories. I have an inventory problem, and yeah. All right, let's grab some diorite. All right, so head back down here. We will slicey-dicey this into something smooth. Yeah, it's not bad, honestly. Is that just cut diorite? Yeah, that is all it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's in all honesty, it's not that bad. It's just yeah, I left the space open because I wasn't sure if I wanted to try to throw a couple of other small things down here. Glow lichen farm, for example, or something else. And I ended up not really using it. But it's fine because I tucked in the wool farm over here. We've got this nice little kelp farm. Yeah. Yeah, it's the glow lichen I never got around to. Now it's just going to be just a meme, you know? It's like, why don't I have a glow lichen farm here? Well, because I didn't, and then I just refused to build another one because of, you know, reasons and stuff. I'm sure they were good reasons too. Okay. We'll just plop all of that in there. And I kind of feel like I need... Yeah, let's take... I kind of feel like I need to take these corners out. Yeah, that's better. Actually, let's... I mean, it's better, but I want to push this wall back a block. Because what I want to do is I want this to be the outside corner here. All right, so we'll just pop that through that way. This will come up like so. This will get moved. Okay. Righto. Go there. You know, a movie I haven't watched in a while, I've been tempted to do so, is Mystery Men. Speaking of shows with some amount of humor in them, it's also Mystery Men is one of the few movies I've watched that has Ben Stiller in it that I actually enjoy. You know, Ben Stiller is just he's a fine actor, right? I mean, there's nothing. It's just he always played these really angry guys. Okay, Festival Wall Lanterns. Okay, and I was just not into that. Right, because I just don't like the angriness. I guess he was good in Night at the Museum too. Okay, festive lanterns, and then I think I need some fences. Yeah, to get hanging lanterns. But Mystery Men, yeah, Mystery Men. It's a superhero movie, okay? But it's a superhero movie about a group of... to call them the B-team heroes would be generous, okay? These guys are definitely not good at their job, okay? All right, how we doing? Lights, okay. I kind of want to throw some extra light. We'll just put it there. It should be fine. Yeah, so they're not good. They're not good at their job. They're the bottom rung of everything. And there is sort of the superhero, like Superman type, who's... He has won. All of the supervillains are in prison. Yeah, he's succeeded in cleaning up the streets, and he's bored. He's losing relevance. He's losing his Pepsi sponsorship. I mean, it's not a good day for the hero. And yeah, it's fun. It's got Ben Stiller and Janine Garofalo and William H. Macy and probably a few other people. Some of it's fun, some of it's a little bit maybe more adult. But I don't like that. This should be dark oak. But yeah, it's good. Yeah. Okay, no, I take that back. It's not a great movie, but it's a fun movie, and I'm a big believer that movies should be fun. So, you know, honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave this. The walls are mismatched and all of this stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna really push this out this way anymore. But yeah, it's fun, and it's how this group of basically losers has to deal with actually stopping a supervillain. And yeah, I should sleep. Hang on. I'm just going to run back and forth here for a while. Is that okay? We good? Where did I leave a bed? Over here. Okay. Bedtime. Bedtime, bedtime, bedtime. But yeah, I don't know. I worry about... To talk about just Discord movie night. It's like, oh, that's a little high. Come over here. It's like, can we do movies on Discord without Discord, throwing a fit and banning the channel and doing all sorts of stupidness. All right, so here's the cactus farm. So I'm not worried about, oh, I need to cover up the tree farm and stuff, because it's just trees and it's back here in the back where nobody's going to see it. But the cactus farm is sort of right here in this village. And it really does need a little bit of a building. Yes, it is sort of tucked back behind. But there's this whole little... Right, this is my starter village. This is where I started in this world, right? These were my first tomato plants. Right? You know, that's the lava farm for fuel, right? And this is still where I go to get infinite water more often than not, right? You know, this was my starter house right here. So, but yeah, so it kind of needs a little bit of something here. I just don't know what I want to do. I mean, I could, honestly, actually, that might not be a bad idea. I could build it up so it kind of matches the rest of the village. That might be fun. I would need a lot more oak than I have, but that shouldn't be a big deal. Let's, I was going to say, let's go see if we've got some oak, but it'll just be faster to come over here to the farm. Oak. Yep. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, we'll grab one more stack. Twill serve in the goodness of everything. All right, so what we'll do is we'll bring this up here. Okay. And same thing back this way. It will be sort of built into the mountainside, but that's okay. You can do cool things with that. Okay, you go there. All right. Yeah, so we'll do something like this. Now, where things are going to get really funky is like down here, where this is going to come up this way. All right. Oh. All right, so this will come up. This is actually too tall, I think. Because I think the reality is if I build this up, right, and we'll put a roof on it and all that stuff, the roof actually will angle up and over the cactus. So this can be really short, really. Really. It's going to be really short. We're going to really be short and stuff. It's going to be like that weird uncle who thinks he's tall, but isn't tall. It's really short. I don't know what I was doing with that voice, but I should probably apologize to somebody, but, you know, I'm not going to, so there. Actually, you know what it is? If you've ever seen the movie Sky High, speaking of movies that are bad, but also really fun, Sky High is right up there. It's like, it was like a Disney Channel type movie. It's like I think it was one of the movies that was a step above being on the Disney Channel and actually made it to the theaters. Yeah, oh yeah, we all know that weird uncle. The whole movie, it's about a superhero high school. Okay, with all of your typical high school Disney movie issues, right? The main character's a little bit of a geeky outcast. He's got the hots for the prom queen plan of the person who plans all the activities, right? The head of the activity committee, that type of, the popular hottie type. And he's got his girlfriend, or his friend who is a girl who has been his friend forever, right? Right, so we got all of that stuff. right? And then you've got your bullies, and you've got, you know, very, yes. And Linda Carter is the principal of the school. Also, it's got Bruce Campbell. He plays Coach Boomer. He's like the gym coach. And Kurt Russell plays Stronghold. He's like, he and his wife, who are our protagonist's parents, are like the most popular superheroes ever. Yeah, I'm not surprised you haven't heard of it. It's one of those movies that was okay, but not great, right? And it's just one of those, like, it was, Disney made it on a shoestring. I think they didn't quite make it for the Disney Channel. I think they really did release it in theaters, but it is a Disney Channel type of movie where it's like, yeah, made for TV, all of this good stuff. But it's got a fun little story. You know, of course, you've got the outcasts, the sidekicks who save the day and all that fun stuff. But so I want that to be up 2 blocks, 3 blocks. I think just for reasons, we'll do it up 3. And it's a fun little watch. I said, don't go into it expecting anything Oscar worthy, right? Because it's not that type of movie. Right? You're not going into this for deep emotional drama. You're going into it for teen angst emotional drama. But it's fun, you know. Okay. And yes, they do make a joke about Linda Carter having been Wonder Woman in the movie. So, you know. Yeah, you have enough teen drama in your life. Yeah. No, and honestly, it was a movie, like, I think most of my kids enjoyed it. You know, because it's right at that age. If you've got kids who are at that, coming out of their tweens, right? Young teen types, this is the perfect movie age for them. At this point, it's a little dated, right? Yes, I think they have a cell phone, but it's a flip phone. Nobody's got smartphones or anything like that. But yeah, it's one of those types. But I have to do something about this. I'm definitely going to dive in and finish this on stream Thursday. Yeah, I think the plan is Thursday we'll finish building up the cactus farm here. And maybe we'll do a bit of a world tour. And I think that'll be it. So maybe Saturday. We'll be back in vanilla. Yeah, that could be fun. All right, I have some ochre frog lights. Let's get in here. I'm just going to tuck in some frog lights in here. Oh, and a food fight. Yeah, we could totally have a food fight. Have to craft up some air tanks and just go out, get the potato cannons and have all sorts of food fighty goodness. Okay. Okay, that'll be good. That'll put some light in here. So I won't need the torches. Okay, I don't think the cactus needs the light. I think it can grow in the dark. Which is also not unlike children. I swear, they grow in the dark. You put them to bed and they wake up 2 inches taller. Okay? I think this actually happened to one of my children. Okay? My youngest daughter, she grew probably a foot in like a month. Okay? I swear, there were days I could see that she was taller from one day to the next. It was so crazy. My son did something like that too. He went from being 48, not so much. He went from being a relatively normal height to being 6'2", and it's like, oh yeah, he's shoulder height on me or something, and then it's like, boing, he's way up here. Okay, I'm kind of sort of tallish, but yeah, no. It's the curse of tall people.
Party on, dudes!
Hey, Mystify, welcome, and thank you for that sub. I appreciate that. You are awesome and amazing. How's it going? Hope your day is going well. All right. Yeah, so we're doing okay. Yeah, but shoot, man. The way the kids will just spring up like that. But yeah, so Sky High was kind of fun. It was said it's not a movie that you're gonna go into and say, oh, this should have won Best Picture. It's not that kind of movie. But it's an enjoyable flick especially if you have kids that are around that age that are sort of middle school, going into high school, that type of stuff. Right. Okay, so we're doing all right. I don't know what this is all going to look like here. I am going to need some form of entrance down into this, but if it's not anime, your kids aren't watching. That's fair. It is not anime. It is a live action show. On the other hand, it is the same sort of vibe, so, But I get that. I've got two of my kids home from college right now. And they have their nights scheduled so they can sit and watch anime. Which is fine. I'm all, they're adults, they can watch what they want. And I have no problems with them watching anime, so, go for it. On the other hand, even if I did, they're adults, and it has ceased to become my problem. All right, you know what? You'll never see this, but I am going to bring this down this way just so that I know where it is. Yeah, boy, anime was something I wish I had gotten into when I was younger. When I was a kid, I had no idea what anime even was. I didn't even know it. I can't say I didn't know it existed. I just didn't know it existed by any special name, Yeah, some anime is pretty amazing. You're watching Furina. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Not surprising. I haven't heard a lot of anime. When I grew up, I remember watching Robotech and Voltron and I think it was one of Manzinger or something like that. And it was great. It was fun. But I didn't know there was a whole genre of animation like this. It was just, and even if I did, there was no way for me to get at it. So, it wasn't until I got older that it's like, oh, anime, this is cool. I remember watching Sword Art Online and really enjoying that one. It's a bit of that show that's problematic on at least 3 levels, but oh, Frieren, okay. Can't pronounce that either, but do I want to? I think I do kind of want to do it that way. Just bring this down like so. Oh, I had a thought. Maybe I'll do that. I'll grab some cactus and... Oh, but cactus has to be placed on sand. I don't know if I want to deal with that. She's an elf mage. Okay. Those elf mages are cool. Alright, so... I'm not going to be putting much here. So whatever I end up filling in this area with, we'll tuck a little bit back in here. She's learning how to people. Yeah, peopling, that's an important skill. That is a wildly important skill. Okay. Oh, okay. Crystal agrees. That's really good. Okay. Well, that's got 2 recommendations for that. Let me drop a reminder to myself. Anime. There we go. We'll just drop that. Okay. Cool. That post to a Discord channel, a private Discord channel that I have for myself, so that I can remember things. Okay, this is cool. Also suggests apothecary diaries. Okay. Yeah, there's so much good stuff out there. I don't know if I want it to, if I actually want a way down there or not. This side I do. This is the side I'm going to come down so I can get it, you know, so you can come in and get it cactus and get a bone meal and stuff. But watching that one as well. Dang, it's all sorts of good stuff. No. Reconnect. What's up? Okay. It's one thing. Like brothel ladies. Okay. Oh, that's fair. I mean, I watch Firefly and it has, it's special people, you know. You're like Spy X Spy or Spy X Family. Okay. I've heard of that one. Unsurprising, I've never actually seen it, but I have heard of that one. Okay, hang on. I want to double check, see if we're actually getting some mangrove. Mangrove, yeah. We are getting a little bit of mangrove. Not a lot, but some. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to do some fun stuff with this. I guess I could come in with some sand. Because I was thinking what I might do is actually bring some cactus into the design of this. I just don't know what it's going to look like. Fire. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Firefly does not have that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite as prudish about that as my as like my wife and stuff, but I can fully appreciate not needing all that all over the place. Okay. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, you know. If your action movie didn't have bosoms hanging out, were you really even trying? Okay. Woohoo! Okay, I should be thinking about stopping here soon, but I'm sort of in a groove now, and if I were to finish this tonight, would that be crazy? Yeah. It's a great, very calming show. Okay. Yeah, I remember watching, what was it? My kids had, I don't think I have sand on me. It was one of the It's not Kurosawa. That's samurai movies. Oh, Studio Ghibli. What was that? What was the one with the Crystal with the witch that you guys had that you watched for a while? I don't remember. You guys had something that you were all watching. Sand is around here somewhere. Kiki's Delivery Service. That's the one I'm going for. I knew I'd remember it eventually. That one was really good. I enjoyed watching. I don't think I watched it very often myself, but yeah. My kids were all about Kiki for a while. They had a friend who introduced them to some of the Studio Ghibli stuff. And it was really cool. Yes, that was a movie. Yeah, there have been a few of the Studio Ghibli ones that I've been like, okay. Like I watched Howl's Moving Castle. And that was okay. It was a beautiful movie. I just didn't like the story very much. Okay. Yes, that's gonna look cool. We'll need to get in there and top it and stuff with something, but that's gonna be really fun. Actually, I like that. Plus, what says there's a cactus farm here more than, hey, look, cactus. Yeah, I've got a bunch I've acquired over the years. I need to go back and watch, but all right. See, so, how is that pronounced? Mashal? Mashley? Okay, just pop in here. I don't know what this is going to look like. How much of this you're going to see from the outside. Obviously some, there are going to be windows and things coming in here, but that's going to be kind of fun. And if you have it so you can come up this way, you're good. Starts out very Harry Potter-ish. Okay, then does its own thing. Okay. Interesting. It's so many interesting monsters. Oh, hang on. So this is going to come down this way. I might drop this down a little bit. Because those are sort of on the floor. But if I were to do another cactus right here, that could be interesting. Gosh, magic and muscle. Huh. Man. Yeah, there's so much good stuff out there, and I have watched almost none of it. I think the last anime I watched was Sailor Moon, which was okay. It was worth watching. I understand why it has hung on so long in the sort of anime zeitgeist, but I'm not gonna decorate this basement. We'll just decorate this as we're coming through. Okay. All right, so sorry, my decorations confused me. I was like, why is there cactus there that's not lining up with the cactus farm? What happened? Am I missing something? No. I decorated. It was silly of me to actually, decorate stuff. I'm weird. Okay. Probably would have heard of things that weren't for your girls. Yeah. Well, as I said, there's some amazing stuff, and I I know I tried to expose my kids to a few things, and they found a bunch of stuff on their own, and um, yeah, be able to find things y'all like to watch together. Yeah, that's cool. That is so much fun. Yeah, and honestly, anything, whether it's movies or video games or stuff that you can just sort of have a touchstone between you and your family, you know, between parents and kids and things like that. It's like, yeah, you know, this is this is nice. Okay, I think I like where this is going. I can't, the fun thing is I can't actually put anything in this gap now because being right next to the cactus, it would break. So, that's fun. If you recommend something, they automatically don't want to see it. Yeah. My dad had that problem. Astro might be able to do it with banners. He had that problem with his girlfriend's granddaughter. She says, the thing is, I don't want to block it. I was thinking, some panes of glass might be really cool here. But I can't put panes there, right? Because you can't put anything next to the cactus. But yeah, sometimes they'd be over and he just, nope, I'm going to put on this movie. And yeah. And then she'd suddenly get hooked. It's like, this is the greatest movie ever. You know? Yeah, what a pain. Yeah, it would be really nice, though, to be able to put some panes or some iron bars or something here next to the cactus, but the rules of cactus say, thou shalt not do the thing. They will be extra pokey and not allow you to do anything. Cactuses are jerks, just like birds, man. Honestly, they just won't let anybody get near them. It's so sad. Okay. All right. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll figure out the rest of this building on Thursday. I said I'm not going to go like super hard on this. I may just, some green glass around the top here. Maybe some terracotta. Green terracotta around the bottom. I don't know, something. We'll figure that out, but this is good. So, yeah, Taco Thursday. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I turned this into frog storage. All right. No, that's fine. Store frogs there. Anyway. Oh, it's been fun. So yeah, I do want to give a shout out to my supporters who are awesome and amazing people. We'll see their names coming up here in a minute. But if you want to become a supporter, help support the channel, musicfreegaming.com is the place to do it. Because that's one of the best places to support me. Next stream will be Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I said we'll finish this cactus farm, and I said we'll do probably a world tour, and that will be just about it. And so I think we're going to be starting back in vanilla on Saturday. So that's going to be it's going to be exciting. I'm not entirely sure what my first step is going to be, but it's going to be fun. So be sure to subscribe to the channel or follow it or whatever it is that you do on the platform you're watching on. And until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming, signing off.